Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Cowboys Huddle with my boy Foots the King from Cowboys TV. What's up, baby?
Joe Rob, man, how are you, brother?
We're doing good. We're doing good. It's been a long week. Lots of topics here to cover here for the next episode. So I'm very excited to hop right into it, man. So first thing, obviously, right off the bat, Cowboys rookie minicamp completed this week. What's your thoughts on it?
Wow, Joe. I mean, where do you want to start? You know, the weekend went by, and it's Mother's Day, and it's Saturday, and Friday you out shopping to get your mom something. Then the Friday, you know, the entry level practice, and it was a lot to digest. They're out there, they're working around. You see Bo Scarborough, he's huge. Leighton Vander Esch is huge, Joe. I didn't realize he was that big. Like you see 6'5" on paper, but then it's different to see 6'5", right? So LV, Dalton Schultz has some good size on him, Joe. Seeing that picture and they're all standing together, I was like, okay, Dalton, he stands about as tall as Leighton. Mike White has good size on him. He stands about as tall as Leighton. They got some trees there.
Yeah, they do.
So it was good to see them running around. Just, a bunch of takes, Joe. The practice format, more teaching.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Joe, before we dive in more?
I really love that idea of them doing more, work, getting the playbook down and that kind of thing, as opposed to, pushing them harder than. I mean, it's a different league. We're in a different era. This isn't like the 90s. Things have changed with the CBA and that sort of thing, and I think the Cowboys are adapting to that a lot better this year, and I think they took the right approach here. I really
I completely agree. And then I hit it on my channel. When you see LV move, now it's very early. We're not falling for the traps, right?
Right on.
You see him move, you like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look stiff. It doesn't look forced. He doesn't look like a statue out there. That he runs well for that 6'5", and I'm sure we'll get into more Chris Richard, but I can imagine him scanning and patrolling the middle of the field. Now, what a lot of Cowboys fans don't know is he has a basketball background, and it makes sense now. I can see him being like a pretty decent small forward or power forward. So he doesn't look stiff, Joe. I like that. You didn't see much quarterback action. You heard the thing from Gil Brand. Let me ask you this, Joe. I hit this on my channel. Is the Mike White hype train gonna get going here soon?
Well, I can tell you this right now for a fact. I know for a fact that you are the president of that club. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's true. He backs up his what you see on tape. He's the real deal. I think the Cowboys got an absolute steal in the 5th round. I think they're going to break that 5th round drought. We've missed countless picks in the 5th round, but I think this guy's going to break that drought. I can see it, man. I definitely see it with the arm, the accuracy, and it's going to be an interesting fight, man. Now, here's a question I have for you, dovetailing off this conversation. This is good stuff. So, we know that Cooper Rush beat out Kellen Moore, right?
Uh-oh.
And now we know that Kellen Moore and White had a really close relationship during the draft process. Is there a conflict of interest here? Does Cooper Rush have anything to be concerned about in that aspect, do you think?
Yeah, so Joe, I started to allude to that. It's crazy, dude. Like, people want us to disagree, but we're like, we need to go GM a team, Joe. We really do.
That's what I'm saying.
You'll keep me grounded, and then we can have these. No, but here's the thing. This was Kellen Moore's guy, okay?
Yeah.
So with him, I was reading with him really being this is his first coaching job, and it's crazy how you can just get a prime position like that, right?
Right.
Able to just be under Linehan, a backup, wasn't much in the league. Now he's a the quarterbacks coach for the Dallas Cowboys, really, and he'll probably go on to be a coordinator one day. Very smart guy. So, but anyway, I say all that to say this was his guy. They said throughout the draft, the whole draft process, Joe, definitely a conflict of interest. Like, yeah. I mean, they're gonna be in his ear because, he was out on the road. Like, he was at the Senior Bowl. Mike White. They spoke at the Senior Bowl, him and Kellen.
Yeah.
And then his pro day. So, somewhat of a conflict. But here's the thing, and I'm glad that you brought this up, Joe, because number one, what's the problem with having good quarterbacks? You see the way that these teams draft and underdevelop and stop developing quarterbacks. If you can get a guy who some teams literally had a second round grade on White, but the way that the draft fell, good players got pushed back because of obviously the 5 quarterbacks early. The way that the draft fell, Joe, Mike White's there in the 5th. So what's wrong with having 3 good quarterbacks? Even Cooper, you can flip one of these guys for a pick. We want picks. We want, capital. Maybe trade. You know what I'm saying, Joe? So exactly. If you have a guy, I don't see what's wrong with that. And I'm telling Cowboys fans now, he's going to light up preseason. He is. He just is. He had a bad team around him at Western Kentucky. Receivers were average, and he made them look good. People and fans saw what happened when he went to the Senior Bowl, throwing guys open, the big play to Chark. Mm-hmm. So, you guys can – not you guys. People, they know I'm high on White, but Gil Brandt said it, man. He tweeted it out. So, we'll see.
No, that's a camp battle to watch for sure, man. For sure. Yes. It's going to be a good one. Yes. What, you have any other hot takes on there for the rookie minicamp? Talking about Vander Esch, I think we can put this – kind of a made-up narrative of him being a Bobby Carpenter. I mean, that's just not the case, right? So, you see him moving out there. He looks smooth, like you say. I mean, he's got good hips where he can backpedal, and that's kind of why they liked him and dropping back in zone coverage. You don't see big men like that doing that. So
that was the good thing for me, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask you a question, Joe, about Leighton?
Let's do it.
What would be the hardest thing for him year one? Like, what will be the learning curve? Will it be, the physicalness of the game? Will it be the speed of the game? Coming from Boise State, Joe, do you think it'll be understanding coverages? To you, Joe, what would be because the book on Leighton is that he's an ascending player. He's still learning. He's still growing. But you're not drafting him for what he is now. You're drafting him for what he will be.
Right.
So, to you, Joe, what will be the hardest thing? Just a guesstimation.
I think the speed of the game. I think that's always been the thing for any rookie coming into the NFL. When you're in college, you got a few guys that are standout, speedy guys that already have NFL, but then you have the other guys that are not. In the NFL, everybody's that guy. So, he's going to have to go up against, the best lineman, Shed. That's one thing that I didn't really like in his tape was his shed and leaning, taking on blocks with his shoulder. Vach actually broke that down really good, but I'm confident in Ben Bloom. Ben Bloom worked him out, and that was almost like his pet capture this draft process. So I'm excited about it, and I think he's going to do well. But yeah, for me, the speed of the game is probably the biggest thing for him to deal with.
Okay, that's a good hit, Joe, and that's actually really good eye by you. That was kind of like, I'll admit it. The video's still up. Is he, I titled it. Is he Bobby Carpenter or is he, a good player? And we can put away that narrative. It was slightly lazy on me. I'm not perfect. At the same time, his tape isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And speaking on a rookie who came in, I can think of one linebacker, and he just happens to be white. Actually, Sean Lee had a really good rookie year too. Do you remember Sean Lee when he came in? He was flying around, dude.
Yeah, he put a stamp on there. We knew this guy had the juice. That's
yeah. But there's a guy by the name of Luke Kuechly. Now, there's no way I would ever call Leighton Vander Esch Luke Kuechly, but dude, he was so good as a rookie. Man, I think he was first team All-Pro as a rookie. It's crazy.
He's still one of my favorite players. The thing I love about the NFL is not only do you love your team, but it's okay to to like other players, man. You know what I mean? Like I think, like I like Kuechly, I like Le'Veon Bell. I just like watching playmakers. It's an amazing thing to watch what some of these guys can do. You know what I mean?
No, 110%, 110%. I always have to get in battle. It's funny you said Le'Veon, because to me, Zeke's the best running back in the league. Age to actually running the football. Not everybody. When I always get in these battles with, I'm in DC, so obviously Skins fans try to give me hell. They're always thinking of a guy who's going to be better than Zeke. And like even Le'Veon, number one, look at the quarterback he's playing with. So Ben understands every defense. He can throw him these little dumps and get his passing yardage up. That's not really Dak's game yet. We obviously want Dak to do well. And then they always give me David Johnson. And I say, cool. But my rebuttal to that is this. Pound for pound, why do I need Zeke catching the football? The yards are going to come if he's catching it, running it. If it was a stretch, his rookie year, he was averaging like 120 a game. So my thing is, as a rookie doing that, yeah, I get the O-line, but he had like 900 yards after contact as well.
Yeah.
So I always say, like, and they did. You know what's funny, Joe? Because during this draft season, everybody's shaming Dez, but then they always compare these receivers coming out. He has Dez Bryant traits, and obviously, Saquon, he's the best. He's even better than Zeke. And I tell people, be careful with that, because, like, even with Saquon, he's going to have to learn everything's not going to be you're not going to be able to bounce it out. I don't think he runs in between the tackles better than Zeke. I don't.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree.
I say all that to say, just like, I know I went off on a tangent, but I think that Zeke is so complete, dude. And I love Le'Veon, but I like Zeke. Zeke's my boy. He can stay out in the field. We need him. We need him, Joe. We need him, Joe.
He's a man. Defenses have their hands full with that boy, man. He's the real deal. You don't go fourth overall for nothing. I'm glad we got him. But let's move to the next topic here. Dez Bryant, it's been 30-something plus days. Hasn't been picked up by a team yet. Then we have Sanjay Lau having comments on Dez as well, kind of calling him out. What's your thoughts on Dez right now? Why has he not been picked up yet? And what do you think about the comments?
Jay, I text you early this morning. That's the thing I gotta understand. Me and Joe, it's really like brotherhood. I be texting this fool like, yo, can't believe this. That was trash. Right. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bush League. And I didn't hear it in context, but it should have never been said. I'm sure he was asked the question, but these guys go through media training, and it just didn't need to be said. Period. Dez, I don't. Even the one thing that I say about Garrett that I like, to us, he deflects everything. He's so vanilla. But to his team, he has character. You get what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah, he does.
And
yeah.
Understands. And Sanjay will learn, but it just was uncalled for. Like, anything that you say being affiliated with the Cowboys, anything. And then with it being related to Dez, like they say he did a cut up on Dez. And basically, he found inconsistencies in his game. I'm like, dude, there's so many more things. And I do cut-ups and watch film all the time. And I'm not saying I know more than Sanjay Lau, but come on. It's low, it's Bush League, and he did compliment him, but the inconsistencies thing, I just rather say, Dez isn't here. We're going to move forward with the guys that we have. So I didn't like it.
That's what I said.
And then, and then as far as Dez not having a job, I don't know, Joe. I don't know. Could have been all or nothing. Could have been circles in the league, or talking to some Cowboys coaches here, maybe. So,
yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about him not having a job, Joe?
I'm honestly surprised, man. I'm honestly very surprised. I mean, he still has the attributes. I mean, he's not a an early 20-year-old. I mean, you know what he is at this point of his career, but he can still contribute. I mean, you can never have enough wide receivers as well. So Dez, good player, man. I hope he lands somewhere and can continue his career. So I want to see him out there playing, making plays. So that's where I'm at with Dez. But yeah, I totally agree on Sanjay Lau. Just He's not here anymore. Just leave it at that and move on. Let's talk about our guys here. All right, Michael Gallup, these Allen Hearns. Let's concentrate more on these guys at this point.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
Hearing Gallup talk, I like it, Joe. I like the way he's talking.
He is coming across impressive, but we always get caught up in a lot of these interviews. Like, hey, you're saying the right things and this and that. But how about Chris Richard's interview here that we saw? How are you feeling about him? I mean, let me know your thoughts. We haven't really talked about him here offline, but let me know what you think. Foots.
Oh man, I was inspired, dude.
Yeah.
I was inspired. I think that, I think the thing that fans are gonna really, that's gonna go unsaid is that he's not out of touch as a coach. Okay, he's not like old ball coach, 40-year gap. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like a 60-year-old man coaching from, and that's not a knock on Marinelli because it's not. Because Marinelli's he's a legendary coach. He really is. But I'm talking about just like, in general, he's not one of those, older guys just kind of coaching the position. You can tell that he understands these guys. He listens to the music. He's older. He's 38, but he's not, he's just not out of touch. And he's going to allow, like, I'm sure he came in, Byron, let's be honest. You know you're a corner. Yep. Let's get you paid. You know what I mean? Talking to him like that. Yep. Let's get you paid. I know exactly what we're gonna do with you. We're gonna cover them, and we're gonna let you jam, and we're gonna let you run with these receivers who can't separate from you. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that's what, and he said it. He came out and said it. We want to play press, man. We want to play press.
That's what it is. And when is the last time we ever ran press consistently? I hate being off 15 freaking yards. You got a first down right there, on a quick hit. So I love that interview, man. I do. I just get this really good vibe from Chris Richard that he's a game changer on the coaching side. I think that's gonna trickle down to the rest of the defense as well. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. I think he came in. I think he saw the personnel. Even with his comment, there's an exception for J. Lou, and I love all of that, Joe. Like, man, talk about it, bro. And he's done his homework, and you can tell, right? You can tell because he's right. Jordan Lewis isn't tall, but he does have good length. He's built weird, like he has long arms. And he's feisty, and he tackles so well.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony Brown is the one. Like, Anthony Brown is your one cover 3, like, off corner. I don't really want him playing press too much. He doesn't play press well. Doesn't get his head around. That's all. And Anthony Brown has exceeded all expectations. So this isn't a knock on Brown. Yeah. He has to overcompensate. Technique wise, he's just like with Cheeto and with Byron and Jordan, because Byron at corner was really good, especially when he had to play against Gronk his rookie year. He played really well. I remember that assignment, but it's like it's gonna be fun to say the least, Joe. It's gonna be fun, and Chris, the interviews, I feel like he's gonna be brutally honest at times.
Absolutely, the energy, the articulation. I think it's going to be good for the Cowboys, man. I think we're going to see a lot of things open up for the defense. Things that we haven't seen in the past, especially in the secondary. So I'm excited. Very excited about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Something that we want to do here moving forward for the podcast is we want to bring you guys a prospect to, go look up and, try to remember and follow during the upcoming collegiate season, people that are going to be entering the 2019 draft. So Foots and I, we're going to, each podcast, we're going to try to give you guys one name, one player, and, just expose you guys to that. So without further ado, let's dig into this little segment here. Who you got for me, Foots?
Joe, we should call this segment a look forward.
A look forward. I love it. Let's do it. A look forward.
Hey, Joe, and you know what? when we were talking about this is what we're giving you guys at the Cowboys Huddle, because me and Joe want our listeners, we want to open up debate. We want to open up conversation. But the biggest thing is, like me and Joe, when we're texting, we want to bring you guys into our world. So when we're texting, I'm like, Joe, you watch this guy? Joe's like, no. And I'm like, Joe, he went to Notre Dame. Joe's giving me guys to watch. And we just piggyback off each other like, I don't like him, or no, I don't like him. But what it does is, like, come 2019, we'll be prepared. A lot of people, fans, YouTubers, whoever, they catch on late. And the thing that I like about getting these names out early is you'll be able to really see their progression throughout the year, the actual college football season. So it won't be like you're going back reading it. You can have a real, like, thought formulated, if that makes sense. You know what I mean, Joe?
Muscle memory, baby. Muscle memory.
Yeah, bro. Like, nobody had to tell you. You hit Quentin Nelson before anybody. Nobody had to tell you about Quentin Nelson, Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's things like that. I was high on Evans before he caught on. So my guy Joe, now he was supposed to come out. I got two. My guy is Christian Wilkins. He was supposed to come out this year. He pulled back, wanted to stay in college. And honestly, everybody on that Clemson, he's a Clemson D tackle.
Yeah.
That whole Clemson line is going to go probably first round. The theme for this draft 2019, defensive line, which, bingo, works out great for the Cowboys. We were talking, we'll hit it later, but don't know what's going to happen with Irving. Here's a guy, depending on how the draft falls, if some quarterbacks scoot in. Every year, the quarterbacks start like in the second round, and they get pushed up when teams start to suck.
Yeah.
So that's my guy, Joe. And I got one more. Michael Jackson, just because that's his name. No, his name is Michael Jackson. He plays for Miami. He's a corner, really good corner. So watch those two guys throughout the year, you all. Michael Jackson, he has great feet, can play press, can play off, very smart, and just a good player. So watch Jackson and watch Wilkins, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you, Foots, man. Wilkins is a good one. I actually thought he was going to come out, and he was one of the ones that took a while to announce that he was going to return back. So I saw a lot about him. I like him, man. I like him. Defensive tackle, I think is going to be a position for us. But the player that I want you guys to know about is Tevin Coney, linebacker, Notre Dame. This guy here, junior, decided to go back his senior year. 6'1", 240 pounds. Has good range, good speed. I think he's going to be somebody that's going to test well at the combine next season when he comes out. But you see him progress each season. He's a captain now. So versatile, can play outside linebacker, can move inside. So he's got a lot of traits that the Cowboys like. And the Cowboys like that program at Notre Dame. And it just happens to be the team that I follow. So keep an eye out on Tevin Coney, Notre Dame linebacker. Tevin Coney, number 4. His jersey number is number 4. But check him out, guys.
Okay, what's his play style like, Joe?
His play style is he's going to come and get you, and he's going to try to get the turnover. Okay. He's got some pass rush traits. He'll get sacks, force. He's got a lot of tackles behind the line. So, I mean, seek and strike. He's a good one. Okay, Joe. Man, good stuff, man. Wow, this was an A+, man. I feel like we've hit everything, Joe. What you think? We do, but then we do have one last topic here to cover, and it is David Irving. And you kind of touched on it here. You kind of touched on it there, Foots, about defensive tackle, and we're talking about David Irving now. So Fisher just had an article come out here about he won custody, but you just kind of feel that there's a lot of drama around David Irving. I mean, congrats to him getting custody. I mean, that's a big deal, for a man to get custody of a child. But behind it, there's drama there. The whole cops came out, and now you're on the NFL's radar, Roger Goodell and his henchmen. So, what's your feel, man? What's your feel on Irvin?
Joe, I'm kind of getting sick of him. You hate to throw people away, but I just don't know if he loves football, Joe. And I think that's what the Cowboys are about. They say they are. They'll put up with you if you're good enough. The problem is David Irving has had flashes. That Green Bay game where he had the sack on A-Rod and he couldn't be blocked.
Yeah.
Like, all of that was great. Then he disappears.
That's it.
He disappears, Joe. He does.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
He disappears, Joe. I know. What's your thoughts, Joe? You haven't really opened too much up about Irving.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I'll be 100% honest. And I kind of touched on it during the draft coverage. People asking in the comments what I thought about would I take a second rounder if somebody gave him. For me, I was like, I hope somebody gives us a second rounder for David Irving, and then we flip that and do something with it. You know, there was a whole Earl Thomas second round conversation. We could have done that. Could have grabbed another marquee player with the second rounder. So for me, I was okay, you know. But yeah, he's just a frustrating player, man. He's just frustrating. You got suspensions, you got off field, the girlfriend now, this whole thing. So
it's too much.
Yeah, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. And it's like you said, after a while, it gets old on the Cowboys. I mean, we saw what happened with Lucky Whitehead. He kind of went through this stage of a kidnapped dog and then accused of stealing when it wasn't him, but just the Cowboys were fed up with it. I mean, he's kind of on that path if he's not careful. Not to say the Cowboys would cut him because, I mean, unfortunately, we're shorthanded at defensive tackle, you know. And
yeah, especially with the injury to Collins.
Yeah.
That hurt. And then not getting
McClain, T-Mac.
And not getting McClain, a player I really like.
Yeah.
And I see why Atlanta paid him. And you know, Dan Quinn running that rotation, you know, former Seattle disciple, it makes sense. They know what McClain can do, and they run a 4-3. And, you know, it's just funny, like the Skins, I don't know what the hell's up with that organization. They took McClain, try to make him a nose. He's not a nose in the 3-4.
They did. They try to do that with Hatcher too, and they try to make him just like, dude, what are you guys doing, man?
Yeah, like I don't know who's in their pro personnel. I don't know.
I don't mind. Trust me.
Yeah, like I'm the same way. Like they're gonna go and try to make Scandrick an outside corner, and he's not. It's just like I don't. It's crazy, Joe, that me and you probably know more than their personnel department.
Right. Yeah, it's funny, man, but it's so true. It's like you're drafting these Alabama defensive tackles and you're running a 3-4. What are you guys doing, man? Their picks don't scare me because I know that they're gonna misuse them. You know what I mean? Like if you tell me they're running a 4-3 full time with these guys, then yeah. But man, they don't scare me with their draft picks and free agent acquisitions. It just does nothing to me. You know?
Yeah, like even Jonathan Allen, that was a waffle pick. He was like very mediocre last year. Like I hate to say it, but the way the league is now, if you don't see much their rookie year, not even just you need to see something. Like we were just talking about Byron Jones, and we're hard on Byron Jones, but you saw something.
Yeah,
dude, I saw nothing with Allen. Maybe I got to go back and watch him more. He stunk. And then like with Deron Payne, the knock on him is what Deron Payne he's getting. So the championship game, he was great. Throughout the season, he just didn't show. It's like games like, did he play? Did he record a tackle?
Yeah. And
that, like, you can't BS against the Cowboys. I mean, when you're playing us, our offensive line, and like with Williams, oh man, Williams will bang.
Yeah, dude, it's exciting. I'm excited. That offensive line has the potential to be back, baby.
Oh yeah.
Our bread and butter, man. I love it. But you got anything else, Foots, before we cut out?
Nah, man. Just keep supporting both channels, Joe. You're doing amazing work. Before I jumped on, I caught your video on Gregory. Which is, you know what? I may start drinking the tea because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need them, especially like playing press man and doing those things. You need to get home. That's what I was gonna say too. There's a couple downfalls to press man. Technique has to be right. Has to. You're more susceptible for big plays. It's just like when you were blitzing with going crazy with Rob Ryan. It's the same thing. Um, and the technique has to be right, and you have to have a D line who can get home. 5 seconds, ball has to be out because you want to mess timing up. You know what I mean?
You're right on.
And
Yeah, you're spot on with that. Absolutely.
yeah, get them off the route. So, but I was just watching your video on Gregory. Man, we'll see.
It'll be for
But no,
me.
that's it.
Yeah, it'll be icing on the cake. That's kind of where it's at. It'll be icing on the cake. Hopefully, he'll it is real and he can stay clean and we get him.
Yeah, I agree. Me too, Joe.
The last thing I have for you guys is I do have a discount code for Fan Chest. I know some of you guys follow me, and if you don't, go check out some of my videos there at Cowboys blog. But I do have a working relationship with Fan Chest memorabilia just in time for Father's Day. I do have a discount code for you guys to use. It saves you 10% off of Fan Chest just in time for Father's Day. And the discount code is Joe for the win. All right, so do that. Hook yourself up. Hook your father up. Anybody you want, get that little deal going. Okay.
Hey, do it. I may go do it, Joe.
Do it. But that's it, guys. I think we'll close it out with that. We really appreciate all you guys supporting the videos here and the podcast. Make sure you subscribe there on SoundCloud and check out Cowboys Huddle and show some love there. Subscribe, follow us, give us the little heart there, like it, share it out to everybody.
That's it, man. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys are doing. We see the growth. Like, we check it and we see it, and it's just going to spread even more. And that's what we're excited about. So thank you guys.
Amen to that. All right, guys. We'll see you for the next huddle. Peace.
Peace.